Welcome to the best and hardest Alphabet Platinum Challenge you will find on YouTube. Trust me, my mom told me so. For those of you that don't know, we're picking a game that starts with each letter of the alphabet starting from Z, going all the way up, and platinuming / getting the 100% on each one of them. So far, we've done Zombie Army 4, Ys 8, XCOM 2, and Wolfenstein 2. Have some pretty rough games to do still, including Evil Within, Outlast 2, Hollow Knight, Fortnite, Black Ops 3, Back 4 Blood, among many others, coming up a little later in the challenge. But let's get into what many people consider to be the scariest game ever made, Visage. As always, let's break this game down into the steps we're going to take to get to platinum. Step 1 is going to be getting scared and trying not to cry. And step 2 is completing the game while making sure to get any missable trophies. That's it. Pretty straightforward, unlike a lot of the other games that we've done. For those of you who have some knowledge about the horror game space, you have certainly heard of PT, or better known as Playable Trailer. One of the greatest and most anticipated games that was never actually a game. Visage is a full-length game of PT. These devs saw PT, wanted a full-length game of it, and decided they were just going to do it. I've seen countless people say they weren't able to finish the game because it's too scary. Now, I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely the scariest game I've ever played. The game starts off with us playing as our main character, Dwayne. We are in a cutscene where Dwayne graciously allows his family to taste the new flavor of gun he got. After doing this, he gives it a chew himself, and then we wake up in an empty room, covered in blood, and thus begins our night from hell. We are given no other backstory, just thrust into what is this horror house. Our goal is simple: find out what happened and escape the nightmare. The house is completely silent. You must just explore and figure things out for yourself. The game gives you no hints or directions, and you just walk around figuring things out as you go. After exploring, you find 3 items that can be interacted with. Interacting with each will start one of the 3 chapters that are required to finish the game. Each chapter follows one other character: Dolores, Lucy, and Reagan. Each chapter also completely changes the house to fit its twisted narrative. Interacting with one of these items unleashes the misery and begins our platinum journey, as well as our journey to survive Visage. Levi and I played this game side by side, so I have given you guys Levi's screen in the top right to get 2 different perspectives. We decided to start the game with Dolores' chapter. Through this chapter, we find out that Dolores was developing worsening schizophrenia, and her husband, George's increasing concern for her. This is, I think, the scariest of the 3 chapters. We get our first trophy of this experience for trying to leave through the front door. Majority of the trophies in this game are miscellaneous or collectibles. We found a light bulb, tried to replace an old one to give us some much needed light, and got a trophy for doing so. Dolores' chapter is all about incredibly difficult puzzles that you have no clue what the answer is. You have to find mirrors scattered around the house and go through them and complete a puzzle to get some item needed to complete the chapter. All the while, Dolores, who is AI generated, is hunting you around the house. She will show up and do random things constantly throughout the chapter, which makes for a fresh experience each time going through it. While exploring for some of the mirrors, we came across a random smiley face and interacted with it. Doing this unlocked a trophy. While going through this chapter, there's a collectible to be found: George's audio cassettes. Finding the first one got us a trophy, but more importantly, it gives us more insight into what happened to Dolores. It's basically George dealing with Dolores' condition and detailing what exactly is going on. Another collectible throughout this game is the Matryoshka dolls. These serve no lore purposes whatsoever, but are more prominent in Lucy's chapter. But finding the first one gets us a trophy. One of the funnier trophies is while going through a puzzle, you find a room that has a shotgun in it. Finding this is fantastic. You can finally fight back and not just run away. While picking it up and using it looks like this.
Where's the shotgun? Is it
Just you can't miss it. I won't fucking ready. Let's go! Just kidding. Fucked up. So yeah, so much for fighting back. But we do get a trophy for using it. We then come to another collectible, the Neighbor's Pages. Similar to other ones, finding the first one gives us a trophy. Nearing the end of the chapter, we find all of George's cassette tapes and get a trophy for doing so. Going through this chapter, we learn of the increasing paranoia that Dolores is suffering from, She begins believing that her husband is trying to poison her. Because of this, she decides to go and stab him multiple times. Dolores' continued to worsen, and she ultimately decided to tie a rope around her neck and take a swan dive, hanging next to the baby crying in its bassinet. And as we see this horror, we finish Dolores' chapter and get a trophy. Like I said, this was the scariest chapter in the game, so to appease the masses, I'll give you guys some highlights to the chapter and what exactly we had to go through. No? Well. Oh, I did not. I did not enjoy that one bit, actually. I didn't like that. Nope.
It's not in here for me.
It's in like the corner. Oh! What the fuck was that? Oh, fuck you, Dolores. No, absolutely not. No. No. I'm back down here. There was a, Oh! No. 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 Dude, I don't know what that was. Oh my god. Dolores, fuck you. Alright, guys. Oh! No. 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 No, 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 no. Absolutely fucking not. Keep up. Dude, what you, Dolores, you stay the fuck away from me. What is this? It's gonna give me a trophy? Oh, look at that! The hot chocolate.
Is it in the
Wow.
kitchen?
No, it's upstairs. Don't go downstairs. Wow. Hot chocolate, thanks. So nice of you.
So that one's technically invisible too, right? If you didn't
I
make
don't
it
think so.
in that chapter?
No, you can make it whenever
Oh.
you want. There is some downtime between chapters where we were able to get a bunch of miscellaneous trophies done. One trophy was for putting ingredients together to make hot chocolate and then drinking it. Another one was part of the endings, which has 2 trophies tied to it. This can technically be done at the very beginning of the game. There is a room in the basement that has a revolver. By picking it up and using it on yourself, it gives us a trophy, but it also spawns us back in the first room of the game, almost as if the game is starting over. But if you go back down into the revolver room and pick it up, it has 1 less bullet in it. So you basically have to keep using it, dying, respawning, going back down, using it, and repeat until there are no bullets left. Very long and tedious process. During this, while I was running through the kitchen, decided to throw something in the microwave, which popped a trophy for attempting to use the microwave. Going back to the revolver shots, after going through all of the bullets, we finally get that ending, which gives us a trophy for achieving the void ending. This ending, at least how many people interpret it, is that Dwayne is unable to accept that he is done in his life and is stuck in an endless loop, reliving this moment forever. Pretty grim. But somehow not as bad as what had actually happened prior to him chewing on a bullet. But we'll get into all that later. Another collectible in the game are the mirror mask pieces. These are very important as they are what allow you to get the true ending. There are several pieces scattered about and they're all related to VHS tapes. Finding one of them gets us a trophy for finding one of the mask pieces. Searching around the house, we eventually found all the neighbor pages, which popped a trophy for doing so. We then come across said VHS tapes, which are incredibly important in detailing what actually happened prior to us having a Sunday Funday meeting with our family. Like the other collectibles, finding the first one gets us a trophy. We'll get to all of these at a later point. It is now time to begin what a lot of people consider is the scariest chapter, Lucy's chapter. This chapter revolves around a little normal girl who becomes friends with the demon and starts talking to him. The demon convinces her to kill her bird. So, apparently not a friendly demon. Concerned, the parents bring her to the hospital and she begins receiving medications, which actually worsen what's going on. And why do people think this is so scary of a chapter? Well, for one, it's about a kid, and kids are creepy as shit. But more importantly, you play almost the entire chapter in pitch black. Yep, all the light switches are broken, and the only light source you get is either A, the flame of a lighter, or B, a flash of a camera. So you have to take a picture and had half a second of the flash to see what's in front of you. Surely, nothing creepy will happen during these flashes, I'm sure. Guys, I just saw her. Oh my god. Fuck. God damn it. Guys, she was right there. Yeah. Oh. Oh! My Lanta. Oh, Jesus Christ. Lucy's chapter is, however, very important for a collectible, the Matryoshka dolls. There are several that are missable because they only show up in parts of this chapter. While collecting all of them pops a trophy for finding them. The chapter ends with us seeing the demon tell Lucy to rip her jaw off. So like a sane child, she does. She rips her jaw completely off in the bathroom and then dies of blood loss. Not exactly the happy ending we all expected, was it? And for those people who want to see some extra scary moments from this chapter, here you go.
The flash isn't working.
Oh! Okay, well... Dude, what the fuck was that? Lucy, fuck you. This is bullshit. Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh, hold up, I need a freaking lighter.
Oh! Alright, DBD, here we go. Stay the fuck away from me, lady. Oh, you gotta be Lucy? I'm not afraid to beat the shit out of a little girl. You better back the fuck up. Lucy, oh, so help me God, Lucy. Oh! Oh! Uh-oh. I didn't love that, if I'm being honest. Before starting our last chapter, we went to get by far the worst trophy in the game. Finding little asshole Bernard the alien. For this trophy, all you have to do is interact with him. It sounds super easy, right? Well, Bernard is quite literally a pixel big, and this asshole can spawn anywhere in the house at random. Oh, and if you look at him for a second without interacting with him, he runs away and despawns, and you have to find him again. It took me 30 to 45 minutes of respawning and checking the same two spots over and over to find him. And there were multiple times where I did find him, and I went to click on him and missed, and he ran off and despawned. I hate this little thing.
Oh. No! Oh, I got him. Nice.
Damn.
He was starting to scurry, I'm like, no! I picked him up.
Lucky you. Oh my
He
god.
was down here in the basement one.
Yeah. No. No, he was there and it wouldn't pick it up! Oh my god! But eventually I did find him, interacted with him, and got the trophy to pop for sending Needle Dick back to planet Sephi.
Is there anything missable?
Yes. Yes, there it is. Got the little alien asshole. Fuck you, bud. We then began the last chapter of the game, focusing on Raken. He was a man in his 20s, living by himself in our house a couple years before. He suffered from scopophobia, or basically the fear of someone spying on him. We see him losing his mind in the house, claiming that he found the cameras, and that he fires his gun at this mysterious figure. The neighbor calls the police, and he ends up in a psychiatric hospital, where he tries to flee and jump out of a window, breaking his legs. This chapter revolves around the experiences of Raken in this hospital, and how he believed the medicine he was being given was actually making things worse. What makes this chapter scary? Running through a maze of a hospital, being chased by mysterious figures. Kind of looking like this. Dude, look at him. What the fuck's he gonna do with it? Dude, he's just guarding it. What an asshole.
I have to like move the bodies out of the elevator?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not 100% sure because I'm still at this part.
Oh gosh, I'm dead. Are you serious? What do I have to do? I hate this game not telling me what I have to do, man. So I have to move all the bodies out before he kills me, I guess?
I don't know. I'm still.
Did you just start running when he chased after you?
The second I heard something, I started running, yeah. During this chapter, we find a psychological evaluation tape and listen to it. Doing this gives us one of our last missable trophies in the game. Chapter ends with Raken stumbling into a room and a man in a suit standing outside of the door. This man closes the door and leaves Raken in this room to eventually die. This chapter concludes and gives us our last chapter trophy for completing his chapter. After doing this chapter, we were finally able to collect all the VHS tapes and get the trophy for doing this. Doing these tapes unlocks the true story of what happened, and let me tell you, it is insane. There's full-length videos describing all of this, but let me give you the SparkNotes version of it. So this game is loosely based on real-life events. In the 1950s and 60s, there was a CIA program called MK Ultra, which was trying to develop mind control techniques. The character we play as, Dwayne, was directly involved in this program. There's part of the game where we have to sign a contract, and written in red is the phrase, "I don't give a fuck." Dwayne played a big role in either distributing or directly administering LSD to people in hospitals/psych wards. Why was Lucy getting worse with getting medications? Because she was actually getting LSD and having worsening hallucinations. Raken? Same thing. Dolores? Same thing. In one of the VHS tapes, it even shows us going into a water treatment facility and leads to the realization that we had poisoned the water supply. Eventually, a man named Lewis Taylor, who also happened to live in the same house as we did and the three victims, he found out what we were doing. To save ourselves, we actually end up drowning him, and it's thought that the big goo monster that shows up in the house and in one of the VHS tapes is actually him. After feeling the immense guilt of being involved in this program, Dwayne sinks into alcohol and drugs to try and cope. He neglects his family and sinks into a deeper depression. Eventually, this gets so bad that he decides to play hot potato with a gun and his family, thus starting the beginning of the game. So the game essentially is a man who is involved in a secret, morbid CIA project, gets multiple people killed, can't stand the guilt, decides to play Ghost, and is tormented reliving the experiences of those he had poisoned. Absolutely insane story. But back to the game, and ending the tangent, we only have a few miscellaneous trophies left to get our sweet, sweet platinum. There's a really cool trophy here that gives a callback to Silent Hill. There's a locked room in the basement that we could never get into, but we routinely come out of throughout the chapters. At this point, we can open it, and this happens.
What?
Our spooky little ghost show gives us a trophy for finding room 302. We now have our last missable trophy. During the prison VHS tape, we can go and break a wall. Find yet another callback, this time to The Shining. We find Johnny's axe, which is pretty cool if you ask me. But doing this gets us a trophy for finding Johnny's gift. We now did everything in the actual game and can now assemble the mirror mask. Doing so pops a trophy and we can go and finish the game. Put the mask on, everything seems peaceful walking through the house. It's sunny outside, there's nothing trying to attack us. We go into the basement, there's a bright light, and we see our family standing there. Game ends and we get a credit scene of peaceful scenery. There's a lot of interpretations to the ending. The probably easiest is that we came to terms with everything and walked into the light and moved on from purgatory and went to heaven, I guess, with our family. Regardless of how someone interprets it, we get our trophy for completing the family reunion ending. After finishing the game, there is a separate game mode. It's one room, and it's just like a devs thanks for playing, here's some pictures kind of room. There's a couple pages, you pick them up, and you get a trophy for finding all the pages in the appreciation book. And immediately after that, we get our platinum trophy, officially finishing the V game. Honestly, guys, this game was absolutely fantastic. On a first playthrough, it really is up there for one of the best horror games. Well, let's get into the rankings. So for difficulty, I'm going to give this game a 4 out of 10. This game really does not hold your hand at all. It gives you very little direction on where to go or what to do, and the puzzles in Dolores' chapter are actually pretty challenging. Some require items from other puzzles, but you don't really know which ones do this. You could spend a half hour in one and not even realize you're missing an item or a vital piece of information. For grind, giving the game a 2 out of 10, there's virtually nothing at all to grind except the little asshole alien. If it wasn't for him, easily would have given this a 1. Resetting a bunch of times for an RNG spawn that can still run away is annoying. This game will be getting a 0 on the bullshit meter. There's not really any bullshit stuff going on in this game. And that gives us a true ranking of 3 out of 10. For recommendation, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I really do believe this is an absolutely fantastic horror game. It's like PT in full game form. Story is fantastic, it has a great atmospheric horror, and when you see the comments of people saying it was too scary and couldn't finish it, you can comment back and say that you did. Well, thank you everyone who accompanied me on this terrifying journey. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you can follow along with the rest of the challenge and see me quickly lose my sanity. We stream every game for this challenge over at Twitch, and we'll leave a description below. Lastly, we have a Discord, which will also have a link in the description. We have roles for completing certain games, as well as a channel to request help with trophies, where I will either hop in the game to help you, drop items or weapons so you don't need any help, or at the very least, give you tips and tricks on how I went about getting the trophy. I will see you guys in the next video, where we go through the hardest way of earning Undertale's Platinum. What if I just unplugged the computer? Would that do it?